That's Lake Manchester down there. Car parks there, as the sign says. Kayaks down there, so that is the only problem with Lake Manchester, getting to the water. So g'day folks, welcome to another PTP fishing, and as you would have seen from the little snippet that I show you at the start, I'm back at Lake Manchester. So most probably the last clip for me for 2021. Sorry about the lack of content in recent times. Obviously the last video I posted was something that I filmed a little while ago. It's not because I haven't been fishing, the fishing's just been pretty tough. All the rain we've had has made certainly our impoundments, pretty much all of them are full. So Manchester is now also full, compared to I think it was about 81% last time I was here. And yeah, for whatever reason, the fish haven't quite got used to the new water levels or anything else as yet. So what I'm hoping today, I've got a few challenges today. I've not caught a fish when I've come here fishing by myself. And obviously I'm here solo today, no guide to show me around the place. So it'd be nice to get a bite. That's most probably the first challenge. Second challenge is hopefully catch enough fish so that I can show you this video. And the third challenge will be getting back up that hill that I've just wandered down to get to the water. So welcome to another PTP fishing. Welcome back to Lake Manchester. The exploring continues. Well, I've had a couple of taps the last few casts. They certainly felt like spangled perch taps rather than bass taps, but it's a bit more encouraging at least. Oh, there's a fish. I think I finally got my spangled perch that I've been talking about. It's certainly not fighting like a bass. But I'll get to show you a fish. Come on, little fella. One spangled perch. Very quickly show you these guys. So in the last video I call these spanglies. So that's a spangled perch. And I'm used to catching them most probably 4 or 5 centimeters smaller than this guy. And that's a small one compared to the big ones I caught last time. But I'm on the board, sort of. Just need a couple of bass to come along, but yeah, there's a spangled perch. Something. As soon as I move that, I'm assuming this is a spangly. Mind you. Oh, this is... What a mess I've made of that fish. It is only a spangly, but still. There he is, he's come off. Oh, you little... There's a fish. Spangled perch, one would suggest. But it's better than nothing. And have a look how he's hooked. I've hooked him in the arse. Oi, get in that net. Oh, and would you believe it's actually a bass? Tiny bass, but it's a bass. Not really sure what my expectations were today. Certainly not to catch a fish that size. Anyway, first bass on the board. I've been on the water for 2.5 hours. So you most probably wondering, why would he show us that fish again? 22 centimeters, but this fish had some significance to me. That is my 750th bass that I've tagged, which is an achievement award. 750 bass in about 5.5 years of tagging. And the first 3 years I didn't do a lot of bass fishing in that. So that's fish number 750 bass tagged. Away he goes. Now I want to get him bigger. This big. Okay, quick update. As you've seen, it's been pretty slow. A couple of spangled perch, that little bass, and not very much in between. So it's time to change lures. The ripping wraps have obviously got a few bumps, but the fish aren't really committed. So time to try something different. In the meantime, as I mentioned at the start of the video, I have been fishing, not catching a lot, but I do have some footage now that I want to put on from North Pine Dam to begin with, and then a very little bit of footage from Lake Kawangbar. In the meantime, I'll paddle back up to Matt's Flat. Actually, I'll change my lure, paddle back up to Matt's Flat, and then hopefully you'll see me again after that, hopefully into a few fish. Anyway, enjoy this little bit of footage from North Pine and Kawangbar. Right now I'll be just happy with a fish. Oh, there we go. There's that fish that I was talking about. Don't really know what to say. So I've fished all my usual spots, and I've had plenty of little bumps and knocks, but nothing's even remotely looked like sticking until now, which is about 2.5 hours into my fishing session. Anyway, nice fish and a donut saver. So that is by no means a monster bass, but it's a donut saving bass. I'm fascinated by this lure at the moment. So that's actually the bigger Lucky Craft lure that I did so well at out of Nogra Reservoir. So it's that same TO shad colour, but this is the LV 150 rather than the 50. So it's got me a fish. Let's just pop the hook out of him and we'll let him go. A nice look at my donut saver, 36 centimetres. Off you go. Thank you. So the question is now, was that just a fluke or am I onto something? Oh, I was onto something. There you go. Next cast. Oh, I'm not going to complain now. Could have done this one right at the very start. Look at this thing going. Again, I don't think this is a very big fish, but I've got him, hooked him pretty much all the way back in my retrieve. So I think he's a little wee tacker, but I'll tell you what, after 2.5 hours of fishing, to get 2 fish and 2 casts, I reckon that's almost a miracle. I wasn't going to show you this fish, but then I thought, just proof of the inline singles. So even on these bigger lures, I change the trebles out for inline singles. And as I've said many times, one of the main reasons I do that is because treble hooks, they can go into me, but they get stuck in the net, they grab all the weed, whereas the inline singles help a little bit with the weedlessness. And as you can see, they just grab them right in behind the jaw there. Solid hook up. And you can always tell when they want them because they're on that front hook. Anyway, we'll get that out of there. Fish number 2. So not much smaller than the last one, 35 centimetres. Thanks for coming. There's a fish. I haven't got a lot of time to talk to you here because he's grabbed it right at the kayak, but one thing I've realised already is obviously with the high water level, these fish are sitting up on top of the weeds. It's going to take me a little while to figure out where the weed is and where they're going to be. Anyway, it's not huge, but I'm on the board. There you go. So as I said, first fish, not a monster, maybe just legal. There's that accession spinnerbait in the brown trout colour. Got to start somewhere. It's nice to know that I'm not going away with donuts, so hopefully we get a few more. So I haven't quite made it back to Matt's flat. This area here looks pretty good as well. So as you can see, all of the lakes are fishing, well, not at their best. Assuming that the lakes need to settle a little bit from all this rain we've had, and then the fish will sort of settle into where they want to be and what they want to eat and all of those sort of things, and the fishing will improve out of sight. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed those few clips. Let's see if I can catch a few more fish here at Lake Manchester. Oh, just still, yeah. So there's a spangled perch, but it's all right. It's a bit of activity. Oh, that's another little bass by the look of it. Huh. Oh, get in the net. There you go. So last time I was catching PBs. This time I'm catching babies. So there's another little guy. So again, it's not terribly exciting to be catching 22 centimetre fish, but I guess what is exciting about that is that the stocking that the BVA is doing is obviously working, and these fish are surviving. Just for a lake this size, the numbers that get put in here are pretty small really compared to the size of the lake. So we'll let this guy go. Off he goes. It's a fish of some sort. It's nice to get a bite. Angled perch. So these guys eat really, really well, and as you can see, you actually get from a fairly small fish, because they're so broad in the shoulders, you actually get quite a reasonable fillet off them. But it's this guy's lucky day. Haven't got anything to keep him cold, so in you go. Next time I'm going to bring a little esky, I think, because these spanglies, they taste mighty good. So that's it for another PTP fishing. Lake Manchester most probably fished as I expected it to today. All the other lakes I've fished in recent times are all fishing tough. The rain has obviously topped them up. It's going to take them a little while to settle, but once they do settle, I think those fish are really going to come on the chew. Still pretty happy to catch a couple of bass, get a few spangled perch, because I've got to keep in mind that the first 4 times I came here, I never even had a bite. Also, I got that 750th tag fish, or tag bass, I should say. So I tagged my 750th bass today. So as much as it maybe wasn't the size that I wanted, it's still a milestone fish for me. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank all the people that have subscribed to the channel, taken the time to make comments and send me messages. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, why not get on board? I'm nearly 400 subscribers now, and I'm hoping that things will just get bigger and better. This is more than likely going to be the last PTP fishing for 2021. I head to Canberra on the weekend. I'm going to spend Christmas with my parents and with my family. I'm looking forward to that. The cameras and the fishing rods are going with me, so you never know, there might be a little bit of PTP fishing coming from the ACT and possibly the Snowy Mountains. Anyway, hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. All I've got left to do is head back up that path in the background. I'm not really looking forward to that, but that's what it is here at Lake Manchester. Access is tough. When the fishing's like it is today, possibly not worthwhile, but hey, sometimes you just got to do what you've got to do. Anyway, thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time from PTP Fishing. See ya.